my perspective of it is, yeah, because I've been in this for 40 something years now, and I've been on both sides of the fence, and the beekeepers have been whinging for years about the imported honey, and in my opinion, you've dealt the biggest awareness campaign in Australia, and dealt the biggest blow to Lowry's off the shelf now, and educated the people of Australia about imported honey. And I think you've done the most excellent job at educating Australians on and now there's a rush for pure Australian honey. So I've got to say thank you. I think what you've done in that awareness has given a real lot of money to each and every beekeeper in Australia. That's my take on it. And I think you've done your job, mate. In my opinion, I think you should move on and work with Capilano. I think you should get together. The last thing we need is any court case that goes on now. Is you look it through, it's one way or another, it's coming out of beekeepers' pockets, and I think we should somehow figure out a way to work together now and do something good, in this time where we really need it. And it's just down to a deal between you and Ben when push comes to shove. I can talk to Ben.
Well, you've read my stuff. You know it was never against the Australian beekeepers selling the honey. It was all had to do with that
Well, my take on it is the price of Australian honey has increased since people have been aware that there was even imported honey coming in. The average person didn't even know, let alone the fact that it was adulterated, if you want to use that word. At the very least with Argentine and Chinese honey, at the very worst with rice syrup. And so, no, it's great, mate. You've done the Australian industry one of the biggest services I've seen any single person do. I think it puts you both in a great position to get on and do something for the beekeepers in amongst this drought and fire now. I'm not saying kiss and make up, but I am saying that I think that both of you should at least come to a table and talk about the good you can do for the Australian honey community now, because between you and Capilano you could do an enormous amount of good. That's my
Well, I
take
know.
on it.
I think you know people on the board at Capilano, and don't you? And do you?
Yeah.
And you do know Ben McKee.
Enough to give Ben a ring.
Maybe it's something we can facilitate, because seeing though the desperation of the guys.
I think it's a really simple thing. You just we come to an agreement, and they come to an agreement, and you both step away, and you both get along, preferably on a single track of helping the beekeepers in this sort of desperate time of need. That's my take. And I'd turn that energy now into the beekeepers and give them support while we can. I think you've done your job, mate. I mean, 10 out of 10. It's already been done, and the move on would be get everyone on the same page and work towards something really cheery.
I've raised some money for beekeepers. I think we've raised like $30,000 and given $20,000 of that out already to small apiaries. And I saw
Straight
that
to the beekeepers.
Well, Capilano are raising funds too for suffering beekeepers, and I think someone in the almond farmers gave them $100,000 the other day or something.
Right.
So it seems pretty foolish to be then handing that money over to lawyers when the beekeepers are ones who really need it.
I'm glad you're feeling that way, because I kind of felt like that all the way through. I know you had to do what you had to do, and I think I think Capilano didn't know what they're getting himself into, and I think they'd love to get out, and I think the passage out to a brighter day for everyone is you're both coming to a conclusion on maybe even jointly helping the beekeepers, and between your followers and, let's face it, Capilano's got a lot of followers at the supermarkets still. Let's hope they've got some, and but I'm sure they'd be they'd be glad to work with you some way.
Well,
It's silly not to.
I'm hoping they can get to that point and we
Oh.
avoid dragging the industry through the mud
Well,
for 3 weeks in March.
Well, let's see what we can do. I can't see how that point's not reached with a phone call. That's my opinion.
Yeah, well, I'll be giving it a go.
Do so. It's great. You know, change the industry for yet again, and lift the standard higher. We need more money in the beekeepers' pockets. At the end of the day, that's what we need.
Well, I've seen with beeswax, what you've done with beeswax.
Mm.
It was, it's gone up $5 at least since.
Well, it's tripled in price in the last 7 years.
Yeah.
It's gone up a massive 16 since we've been buying it, 1,000 a tonne.
And
so,
beekeepers have said to me that they're only in business because of their beeswax.
Well,
And,
it's helping. It's helping.
and I'd like to see a healthier honey price.
Well, if the Australian people, now that they're educated, just buy pure Australian honey, that's all that's needed to do. I don't think that they knew, for example, that the honey they were buying in the supermarket was from, Argentina and China and blended with this and that. I don't think they even knew it. And so, that's the awareness you've brought is fantastic. And if the Australian people just buy, regardless of the price, Australian honey, then our industry's back on its feet tomorrow.
I'd be hoping people were happy to pay $20 a kilo for honey. I don't know what the supermarket stuff is going for.
Well, this honey that we sent to a buyer in Saudi Arabia, it's blue top ironbark. It's one of the best honeys you could possibly dream of, and that's why we bought a lot of it. Is now selling for $200 a kilogram in Saudi Arabia right now. So yeah, if we paid, $20 for that jar, then you ask any farmer what they need to put them on their feet is their raw bottom price to be increased. A lot of these guys are running on 10% margins, so if we doubled the price, they'd get 9 times the income. There's room to double the price for a year or two, of course. And I believe Australians, if they knew the story, would support at the shelf level, buy Australian honey. It's easy.